Hi guys, and welcome back to another DrAce video, and today we're going to be playing MotoGP 21, and it is time for the Sachsenring for round 7 of our World Championship career mode, and it's time for the German GP. So in pole position is Grant with Joan Mir, Morbidelli on the front row, Oliveira, Miller and Quattraro on the second, Nakagami, Zarco, Bagnaia, Espargaro, Bastianini, Rossi, Martin, Espargaro, Vinales, Rins, Marquez, Petrucci, Binder, Marquez, Lecuona, Marini and Lorenzo Savadori at the back of the grid. So we look to the lights from pole position, hard front installed, and away we go. The hard front, the medium rear combination. Is this the combination for us to get the whole shots going into turn 1 for the Sachsenring? And a little bit out of shape, but we get the job done. Lap 1 of a many amount of laps is underway, and this is going to be a cracking race. I can feel it in my waters already that this is going to be a belter. We had an astonishing race last season in the Sachsenring, filled with carnage, chaos and just amazing overtakes. I certainly expect round 7 of this championship to be exactly the same. There's already been a crash so far in this Grand Prix. I'm not entirely sure who it was, but there is someone who has fallen by the wayside. You can see it in the graphic in the bottom left hand corner of your screen, just on the entry before the right-hander, so something has happened, something has gone wrong for one of the riders. There's actually another rider who's not even moving at all, so not entirely sure what's going on, but for the time being, we're focusing on the front part of the Grand Prix because Grant is in the lead with power setting 2, so you know me, if we're in the lead, stay in power setting 2, save power setting 3 for when we need it. So into turn 11, I probably should use a bit of power 3 on the downhill section for the waterfall, but for now, we're alright. Going into the Saxon curve for the left-hander, Joan Mir has just showed us a little bit of a Michelin front tyre, not able to go anywhere with it, but still, Joan Mir on board the Suzuki, the former world champion, is still lurking. You can see his winglet there as well as we complete the first lap of this Grand Prix. So 1:26.29, not bad for a starting lap from a standing start, let me tell you. But now onto the right-hand side, going a little bit tighter for turn 1 this time. You see that deeper line and groove in the track there. That's usually where I like to be, as the top 10 is changing quite a little bit. It's actually moving around quite a nice amount, as Grant is still in the lead. Joan Mir, Morbidelli in third place, Miller, Oliveira, Quattraro, Nakagami and Pecco Bagnaia as your top 8 riders so far in this Sachsenring Grand Prix. Now, we struggled last season with pulling away from the rest of the riders, and it has that feel already. We can't seem to get away from Joan Mir. He's still there or thereabouts, but I don't know what it's going to be like if they get past me, so I'm really hoping that it's not going to be a case of like it was in MXGP, that when the riders get past, they're just going to disappear into the distance. So my best counteraction for that one, my best defence, is don't let them get through. I'm going to play this entire one defending to the death. If they get past me, I'm going straight back at them. Classic DrAce style. So far, still in the lead, but the tensions are high because Joan Mir is still trailing by a tenth and a little bit. So braking for the left-hander, a little bit too gentle there on the left-hand side for Queckenberg. Joan Mir fans going around the outside. You can't do that there, but I tell you what, he's got the job done across the line. Joan Mir, the fastest man on track with a 1:19.129, and he leads this Grand Prix in the Sachsenring. Grant is trying to outbrake him. Joan Mir holding firm. I tell you what, he didn't let the cutback happen. No way. He wasn't allowing that to happen, and that is quite concerning. That is my strongest point of the track. Where are we going to fight back against Joan Mir? Last year when we fought in the Sachsenring, we let them get through on the straight and fought back for turn 1 immediately every time. That is exactly what I planned to do with them when Joan Mir went round the outside, but I still couldn't get him. So Joan Mir is taken to the front. How long will he hold on to it? I couldn't pull away from them. Can he pull away from me? Do I need to change to power setting 3? I'm not sure yet. Let's complete this lap, get a good understanding of where we're going to be, and hopefully use the speed on the back straight with a little bit of slipstream to chase him down. So now onto the left-hand side, and this is where I lose a little bit of time, just seeing Frankie Morbidelli just poke his nose into the picture as well. We're losing a little bit of time. Power setting 3 has been applied just to get in behind Joan Mir for the bottom of this downhill section for the waterfall as mentioned earlier, and now onto the left-hand side for the Saxon curve. Still in power setting 3 with traction control on 2, so I made a little bit of a mistake there. I've accidentally swapped it over to TCS 2 rather than actually changing the power setting. I'm going to try and fire it back up in a minute, and hopefully going into power setting 2 at the end of this lap, I can try and save some more fuel, but it's not going to be necessary. Hard on the brakes, we'll go for turn 1. Look at the late lunge! I didn't think we were going to get that done, but we managed to get it to stick. Oh, Joan Mir was trying to fight back. I did not think that was going to happen. I thought at that point we're going to have to try and regroup and attack again, but a little bit out of shape. The bike was squirming under the brakes, but we managed to stick it under Joan Mir. That is precision braking. That's how you brake in MotoGP 21, my friends. That was superb, but I'm also looking a little bit sheepish now at the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. That hard front has taken a pounding on the left-hand side. That's ridiculous, and now the medium has also taken a bit of a hounding as well. So 2 overtakes has already exchanged in the first positions. Pretty good so far. Still in power setting 3, DrAce trying to pull away from Joan Mir, but also as well, because of power setting 3 being that far onto the bottom right-hand corner, I can't change the actual button with the D-pad when in those corners. It's very difficult to position it correctly. So back up to TCS 3 because I was burning way too much tyre up in TCS 2. So I just increased it just a little bit, but truth be told, I did make a mistake with the D-pad. I was trying to frantically change to power setting 3 and I accidentally changed it to TCS 2. But never mind, we are still into the lead. And that was a decent lap from us. We're into the 1:19.1s for the very first time. Just got to get a little bit quicker, I think, if we're going to try and defend against Joan Mir and many other riders. But the top 10 has changed once again. Rossi was briefly in the top 8. Morbidelli has also dropped from 3rd to 4th. And now Miller is battling it out for one of the best positions in MotoGP right now. A Grand Prix podium in the Sachsenring. So as things stand, Grant, Mir, Miller, Morbidelli, Oliveira, Quartararo, Nakagami, and another Yamaha finishing the top 8, Maverick, Vinales. So onto the left-hand side, we're still hanging on. We've got Joan Mir 0.5 of a second of gap, so we are in a good position. We just got to make sure that turn 11 for that final, maybe small sector 3, we don't lose too much time. This is where I lose most of it, coming out of turn 10, onto the change of direction for turn 11. How much time did we lose? We lost a 10th or so. We're still there. We're on the green, actually. Just a bit of a metaphorical slap on the wrist for me. When we go onto the left-hand side for the Saxon curve, Joan Mir is still there. He's a 10th of a second behind now. Is he going to go for that lunge around the outside? I cannot believe he made that stick. I really can't. I think he's fancying it. He's 83,000 of a second, but Joan Mir still not close enough. It's less than a 10th. Does he have the power to get past the Aprilia RSGP? Not quite. Hard on the brakes goes Grant, the stop rack of MotoGP right now. The Turkish man in World Superbike is being rivaled here today with the man who's the latest on the brakes. We are pretty good when it comes to the brakes, but for the time being, Rossi back up into the top 8, so good to see the Doctor with DrAce leading this Grand Prix. Turn 5 is approaching for another tight apex. The hard front is taking an absolute hammering. I can't believe how much we've just slaughtered this front tyre. Even the rear tyre is not looking too good either. But those lap times have been rather consistent, so good stuff so far, but it just feels like something's going to just change. If I make a single mistake, I'm going to get slaughtered. I'm going to get absolutely eaten alive from the riders behind. There's definitely a feeling of some certain tension coming because that hard front is not going to last. If I'd chosen the medium front, which I was tempted to choose, this could be over already. There's no way I could continue. But into the left hand of a Saxon curve, it's a 10th of a second. This gap is just oscillating from a 10th to 2 tenths to 4 tenths down to half a tenth. It's just, oh, I went wide for the Queckenberg. 10th of a second is the gap to Joan Mir, but I don't think it'll be ours by the end of the lap, is it? We're still into first position. 2/10 of a second separate us and Joan Mir. So the couple of world champions battling it out at the first position as Joan Mir is still in second and Jack Miller is yet to really impose himself in this top 2. He's just waiting for his moment, I'm guessing, but you can see the long snake behind us. There's not a single gap between any of those riders behind. Not one single gap. Look at it in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen. That's ridiculous. It's a huge snake going around turns 5, 6 respectively. This is just unbelievable. Yes, there is the odd 2 that quite frankly didn't make it, but the rest of the riders are still there, and that hard front is looking a little bit worse for wear. The medium is like, come on, we need to finish this Grand Prix. Use power setting 3 if you have to, because these tyres are not going to last. I'm getting a bit concerned. Oh no, but we're doing well. We're doing positive. Mir is still there in, oh, it's a 10th of a second. Turn 11, we lost a little bit more time. Still hanging on as much as we possibly can as we go firm on the brakes for the Saxon curve for turn 12. We've run it a little bit deep and Joan Mir takes over the front. I knew it was coming. I just couldn't decide when it was going to happen. I ran it wide for turn 12 and now Joan Mir takes over at the front. Can we use power setting 3, get into the slipstream? We don't even need power setting 2. 3, I can't even speak. Never mind, we didn't even need power setting 3, stayed in power setting 2, and we go firm on the brakes for turn 1 as the status quo resumes once again. And breathe, we can relax a little bit as Jack Miller now puts himself into the top 2. So Joan Mir has said, alright then Jack, your turn mate. You have a pop at the 27-year-old man from Warrington. Let's see if you can beat him now. As we have 0.3 of a second gap to Miller. We can not rest easy actually at all. I'm lying, we can't rest easy. One little bit. Look at the state of that front tyre. That hard front's not going to last. This is going to be Jerez all over again, isn't it? Jerez, we barely managed to survive with that soft option front, and now here we're going to be struggling to survive with a hard front. It just shows you how punishing the Sachsenring is on the left-hand side of the tyre. The asymmetric tyres are really, really struggling right now. These Michelins are doing everything they can, but apparently the hard, it's a little bit cold compared to the medium, which is odd. At least the right-hand side of the tyre makes sense, but the left-hand side, I don't think so. So now on to the firm parts of the braking, but that front tyre is feeling really loose now. There is Jack Miller. He wants to have a lunge now. Is he going to go for it into the Queckenberg? Is he going to be strong enough? Oh, Jack Miller dived with the inside. That's an excellent move from Jack Miller. But bring on the acceleration, bring on the power. Side by side, almost across the line there. As a little bit of contact was made towards the rumble strip. Jack Miller will still have the inside line. Will he be strong enough on the brakes compared to the Aprilia? The Aprilia is a braking machine. We are truly the last of the late breakers as we even outbraked Jack Miller. So that's something to be very, very proud of. Another recap of the top 8 because things have changed once again. Grant, Miller, Mir, Morbidelli Quartararo, never mind, Oliveira, Vinales Quartararo, and now Valentino Rossi in 8th place. So a good group of Yamahas battling it out for the midfield pack there. But once again, I'm going to just pay attention to the bottom right hand corner of your screen, the front tyre on the left hand side. This feels like ice now. It is really slippy. It is struggling so much, and I don't feel confident going into turn 8. We had that massive moment, absolutely monumental moment going into the left hand, and we've had another moment there into turn 10, but we had the moment there in the qualifying as Jack Miller is sizing me up for weak spots. Where will Miller go for it? Fresh from a podium in ASBK. Does he fancy one here in MotoGP? Does he fancy a victory? Around the outside, a bit of contact there from the left shoulder from Jack Miller as he gives me a bit of a shove, and now we take the defensive position with power setting 3 enabled. Now onto the left hand side for the Queckenberg. We just hold it on, but that final corner with that front tyre is ridiculous. It feels like it's going to drop every time. You'll see in the bottom right hand corner of how much brake I'm actually applying as we try and break it in for turn 1. Jack Miller has taken over at the front. Can we get the cut back? Can we be brave enough? We need power setting 3 more than ever now, I think. We have plenty of fuel to burn. Miller still into the lead, but the right hand side of the tyre I have plenty of speed and confidence on. Not the left though, so don't make me overtake in the left. But we do retaliate immediately, just as I predicted earlier. If they come for me, I've got to fight back. Oh, the front almost locked. Oh, this is so tense. This is Jerez all over again, ladies and gentlemen. This is super, super tense. I'm on the absolute limit here for that front tyre. There is nothing left. Look at it. There is nothing left in that front tyre. Absolutely zero. It's ridiculous. I don't know what to say apart from that tyre. I just hope it lasts. I hope it lasts. I'm struggling here. I really am. 0.2 of a second is what separates us and Jack Miller. Jack Miller is now a 1/10 of a little bit. It's still 0.2, just barely. Is he going to be able to go for another lunge? Look how slow we are on the left hand of a Saxon curve. We've ran it wide. We've ran it deep. Miller to take over at the front once again. I've got nothing on the left hand side. Nothing at all. I can't beat him on the left hand side. He's going to overtake me every single time. Power setting 3 in the slipstream. This is our first lap into the 120s. We have just struggled at the worst possible point. Braking extremely firm now for turn 1. Is Jack Miller going to make a mistake? Grant fires it up at the inside again. Oh, brilliant. We managed to retake the lead. This is tense. I cannot believe this. We are just defending like an absolute pro right now. Every single effort from the other riders, we return the favour and give it them straight back. This is solid. Power setting 3, welcome to DrAce's channel. You're here to stay for the rest of the Grand Prix. I don't want to risk it dropping to power setting 2. The whole acceleration is what we need now because I'm struggling on the brakes. I have to save it on the corners, getting out of the corners, left hand side. Oh, very, very slippy this corner now. 1/10 of a second, it's nothing. We have to do turn 11 the best way we've ever done in our entire life. onto the right hand side of the tyre, bring on the acceleration. We're a tenth of a second separated from Jack Miller. Miller will definitely have the braking zone going into the left-hander. I'm taking defensive position in the middle of the track. Miller is still there. He's run it a little bit deep, has he? He's still there somewhat. Tenth of a second separates us. Hold! Brace yourself. Joan Mir wants to go around the outside. Bring on the acceleration. We've done it. We've got it. Job done. Oh my God, look at the amount of riders there. Oh my God. What a Grand Prix, ladies and gentlemen. 72 thousandth of a second separates Joan Mir and Grant for the victory. So a quick recap: Grant wins with Joan Mir in second, Miller in third with Mikel Oliveira in fourth, Morbidelli, Vinales, Quartararo, Spargaro and Rossi finish up your top 9. And a look at the championship standings, and we are now 24 points clear from Joan Mir, 28 clear from Bagnaia, and 48 points clear from Zarco, who are never even seen in the Grand Prix. 52 clear from Jack Miller, who finishes in third place. So a brief look at the team championship, and Ducati Lenovo team are still at the top of the pile, 17 points clear from Aprilia, 30 points clear from Pramet Racing, and 52 clear from Team Suzuki X-Star. So ladies and gentlemen, how was that for you? That was pretty epic, wasn't it? That front tyre was just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. It had zero feeling. There was nothing in it towards the end of that Grand Prix, but somehow the number 1 stands true and we managed to get the job done. Unbelievable race. I really hope you enjoyed that one as much as I did, because that was awesome. One of the best races I've ever had in MotoGP 21, let me tell you. In fact, out of all the MotoGP games, that could quite possibly be one of my most favourites. Awesome stuff. So guys, I really hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, let me know in the comments section down below. Hit the like button if you really enjoyed the video, and also consider subscribing. We're on the charge for 2,500 subscribers, and I would really appreciate your assistance. But upon that note, guys, I will leave you with the podium celebrations. I really hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video. It's been a pleasure. Ciao for now. Oh hi, didn't quite see you there. Good to see you're still here. If this video didn't quite sate your appetite, then why not watch some more DrAce content by clicking the video shown on screen now. Furthermore, if you would like to follow me on social media, you can do so now with the links down in the description. Consider subscribing so you don't miss a single DrAce video.